crop estimate in just a few minutes. Growers believe, they're hopeful, they're thinking that we had a better set of fruit this year. We're hopeful for maybe even a higher number of boxes in the estimate, maybe less smaller fruit, larger fruit, more of an estimate, a good quality crop, and boy, that'll be a high five if that kind of situation comes up. So once again, the growers are encouraged, but Josh, everybody's concerned after the estimate. Will the fruit hold or not? Last year was really difficult. We lost over 10% of our crop in total to drop. And growers believe what they see so far. We're hopeful that's not going to happen this year. But there's excitement in the air, coupled with optimism as growers arrive and are mingling in Sulphur Springs at the Putnam Ranch.
All right, and you and I had spoke the other day. You talked about good bloom counts this year and a few other things. Can you speak a little bit about what impacts this crop for the year and what's impacting your thoughts on where the estimate will fall?
And you know what, boy, I'm not the expert, and like I said, that we've got so many different opinions. But the fact of the matter is, last year the final count, just short of 53 million boxes of oranges, and you add the Florida grapefruit and specialty, about a 58 million boxes. And most believe with this bloom, with a better set, as I mentioned earlier, growers I've been reporting there hasn't been as much drop as what we had this time of the year, a year ago. And some of the original private estimates that are out there of a 50 million box orange crop, most folks believe that might be the floor. Now, we could be surprised with Mother Nature, and at the end of the day, let's not forget, USDA does an excellent job, but it's only an estimate. And so we're hopeful we'll have a positive, a slightly larger crop, so consumers all over the United States can enjoy Florida citrus, Florida orange juice, and of course our premium NFC product. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a crop that could provide the source, if you will, for NFC from Florida. So that's the hope, that's the anticipation, and we're really looking forward to the first original estimate from USDA.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to do another quick time check here for our radio stations joining in. It is going to be 11:52 here shortly at 3, 2, 1 mark. We're waiting on Citrus Crop Statistics Administrator for the Florida Agriculture Statistics Service, Bill Curtis, is set to call our program today from Washington, D.C., the moment the phone lines are open from what they call lockup at USDA. Secrecy of these crop numbers are taken very seriously by industry and government, since the various crop estimates can and often do have dramatic effects on the market trading prices. Mike, it's great to hear the optimism. I think that, the industry is really starting to turn around here, and I know we've had a lot of rough patches in the past, but citrus growers have done an outstanding job overcoming the odds through the decades. I know a big part of that has to do with the hard work that your organization on both the state and federal level do. Can you speak a little bit about the work that Florida Citrus Mutual is doing to help the industry?
Sure. Thank you, Josh. You're right. For the past 15 years, the Florida citrus growers have tried to fight the devastating disease, Hong Long Bing. Most folks refer to it as greening or HLB. During the past decade, we've seen our production drop substantially. We saw our cost our cost of production to go up significantly. It has been a most difficult year. And we still don't have the ultimate silver bullet solution to HLB, but we have combinations. Some of the research has been paying off with new production techniques, maybe new rootstocks on the way, new programs, to get Florida's signature agriculture crop, Florida citrus, back on our feet. And so one thing that Florida Citrus Mutual does, we really leverage our friendships, for example, with the state of Florida. Right now there's committee work going on in Tallahassee. House and Senate committees are looking at policy and budgets. And the state legislator have been favorable to the Florida citrus industry and has really supplemented the monies, the taxes that the grower has paid with additional funds, almost $25 million last year from the state of Florida for marketing and research activities. And this is needed. We're hopeful, as you mentioned, we have bottomed out. I'm hopeful we have turned the corner. But until we get back to the level of production of prior decades, we're going to need some help. And we're fortunate to have good friends in Tallahassee as well as Washington, D.C., and solid programs to support the Florida citrus grower.
And you say we need help coming on the road, and I definitely think we do. Can you talk a little bit about what that help is and what you hope to see in the coming years for the citrus industry?
Yep, I'd be glad to. You know what? We were originally and for many years focused on research needs, and we need that. The grower tax himself, of course, for research projects. And then, as I mentioned, there are federal and state dollars that are used to address Honglong bean and greening. And some of the results from the greening is what we're looking for as we put new trees in the ground to replace the trees that we have lost. And last year, we were very fortunate, and again, thanks to the state of Florida, with general revenue dollars to help fund the marketing programs to assist the taxes that the grower has paid at the Florida Department of Citrus. That state agency that has done an incredible job to remind consumers of the health message, certainly during the pandemic. A little friendly reminder that Florida orange juice is the most nutrient-dense, 100% juice in the marketplace. So that assistance, whether it's marketing, whether it's research, whether it's the new craft program, there's a state, federal grower program to get more trees in the ground, utilize some of the current research that is available to us now, and then document it. Show us what works and show us what doesn't work during the next 6 years. So we have the largest citrus field trial in the history of the world going on in the state of Florida. At the end of the second year, nearly 5,000 acres, and a third year of funding already there. That's a good example of mutual leveraging the partnership with the state and federal government, as well as the grower, to fund some really outside-the-box thinking, and it's absolutely needed to whip this greening disease.
And are you still recruiting growers to join in the craft program at this point?
Yes. Yes, there is a third year. There is a sign-up period. And then even if growers miss that sign-up, there's quote-unquote a waiting list. It's a very attractive program. The grower gets compensated, gets financial assistance to get trees in the ground, but it's not a giveaway program. The grower also has to utilize certain new research techniques that we believe in the lab, and the researchers tell us to work. Now we need to get it behind the tractor in the grower's hands. So there's a cycle 3 just beginning to be initiated. And as I mentioned, and they have their own website at the Citrus, the CRAFT program, Citrus Research and Field Trials, CRAFT. So very exciting program, acreage around the state, and boy, once we can show groves, real situation that we can produce a productive grove in light of, working through a greening, then get out of the way. Growers will be demanding for more trees to get back in the ground, and that's what we need to get our production back to prior HLB.
Absolutely. And all right, now we're looking at 11:59 here in 3, 2, 1, mark. We'll be going live in just 60 seconds. We'll be waiting on a call from Bill Curtis, Citrus Crop Statistics Administrator from the Florida Ag Statistics Service. Bill is currently in lockup at the United States Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C. He'll be calling into our show in a little under 40 seconds now. We will be going live with him as he reads off the 2021-2022 citrus crop forecast for the citrus industry to hear. We're joined by Mike Sparks, coming live from the Florida Citrus Mutual Citrus Crop Luncheon down in Zolfo Springs. We'll be speaking with him a little bit more after Bill reads the numbers here. We're now 20 seconds away from going live on the air, and we will be awaiting a call from Bill Curtis at the USDA. It is now 8 seconds. We're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live broadcast of the Citrus Crop Forecast. We are awaiting a call from Bill Curtis with the USDA. Citrus Crop Forecast will be read by Bill Curtis coming from the USDA in Washington, D.C. We're waiting on Bill to call in on the line now. We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors of this live broadcast, Aerobotics, Farm Credit of Florida, and Orange RX. Thank you, sponsors, for making this broadcast possible. For those of you tuning us in online, we appreciate you listening, as well as those tuning us in on your radio. Thank you for listening to Southeast Agnet, and we appreciate your support. We're just moments away now from Bill Curtis calling in and joining this call, and then we will hear the numbers from him and follow up with his analysis of the numbers and how they came about this year's crop estimate. Then we'll visit more with Mike Sparks, who's down at Zolfo Springs, and hear his reaction to that. I think I have Bill here on the line. Bill,
hello,
is that you? Can you hear me? Hey, Bill, thank you for joining us. I will turn everything over to you now.
Hey, thank you. Yes, this is Bill Curtis with the Florida Ag Statistics Service, and I have the USDA initial October citrus crop forecast. And reading from the chart, I'm going to start with the non-Valencia oranges in Florida, forecast at 19 million boxes. California, 35 million boxes. Moving on to Texas, 450,000 boxes. Your total non-Valencia oranges is 54,450,000 boxes. Okay, moving on to your Valencia oranges. For Florida, 28 million boxes. California, 8,500,000 boxes. Texas, we have 100,000 boxes for total non-Valencias at 36,600,000 boxes. Okay, your all oranges. Florida, 47 million boxes. California, 43,500,000 boxes. Texas, 550,000 boxes. And your total all oranges is 91,050,000 boxes. And I'm going to move on to the grapefruit now. For Florida, all 3,800,000 boxes, and that consists of 3,200,000 boxes of red and 600,000 boxes of white. For California, 3,900,000 boxes, and for Texas, 3,100,000 boxes, for total grapefruit of 10,800,000 boxes. And for the tangerines and tangelos, Florida all is 900,000 boxes. California is 21 million boxes for total tangerines of 20,900,000 boxes. And do you have any questions, or do you need anything repeated?
Yeah, I'd just like to hear kind of your reaction to that and any information you can give us about how you came about those numbers for this year.
So obviously this is a little lower than it was last year and most previous seasons. The big thing about that is the fruit per tree was the lowest on record for both the non-Valencia oranges and the Valencia oranges. And we have records dating back to 1964, 1965. For the non-Valencia last year was the previous, and it's actually 20 pieces lower on the non-Valencia oranges, and it also is lower on the Valencia oranges. And another thing that I think contributed to the forecast was a smaller size than average on both the non-Valencia and Valencia oranges, and bringing us to this total that we're seeing right now of 47 million all orange.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Bill?
Unless you have any other questions, I just we'll just see what comes out at the end, and that'd be all. Thank you.
Mike, do you have any questions for Bill?
No, I just can't say enough good things. I mean, such a hard job Bill and his crew have to get in the grows and make these estimates. We know it's the kickoff, the first estimate of the year, and so we're looking forward to the subsequent monthly updates to this estimate as we work our way through the season.
Thank you, Mark, and I appreciate those kind remarks.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for reading the numbers.
Okay, thank you very much, Josh.
All right. Mike, if I could, I'd love to hear your reaction to these numbers and what you thought of the estimate.
Well, you know what, Josh? Doggone it. It's a reality check. The number, quite honestly, is a little lower on oranges than we had been hopeful for. It's a little lower than some of the preliminary estimates. The good news, though, we will get updates when we move forward through the season with revised crop estimates. The good news, though, for consumers and the industry with 47 million, that's a crop that can support the whole NFC, not from concentrate. That's what consumers demand. That's our premium product, and so as we force our way forward during this year, we're hopeful to harvest that entire estimate of 47 million boxes. The less fruit per tree comment from Bill, the glass is half full. We're hopeful that fruit can hold on the tree. We will not have the drop that we've had in the prior years. And then the last point that an observation is this HLB is the most dreaded, the worst disease known to citrus around the world. We have got to fight our way out of it. There's new research that can provide additional tools, and the Florida citrus industry is just too important to walk away from. Josh, at the end of the day, the Florida citrus industry, we in the state of Florida have a lot to be thankful for. The jobs that it creates, 40,000 jobs, $8.8 billion in economic activity the Florida citrus industry generates to the state of Florida. $8 billion each and every year. So we still, we've been sucker punched, right in the gut. And so what we're doing now, we're seeing a recovery. It's not as quick as it should be, but nonetheless, the state of Florida means citrus. We're here. We've responded to freezes and hurricanes in the past, and there's no question in my mind we'll rebound. And we must rebound. I mean, there's counties, there's cities, municipalities that just basically are Florida citrus. So, yes, maybe a bit disappointment in the first original estimate, but I'm also encouraged that there's going to be good quality fruit for our NFC product.
I hope so, too. Well, it's time we wrap this up. Mike, I can't thank you enough for joining us today and for the work that you and your team do. We truly appreciate it. And thank you to everyone for joining us and tuning us in both online and on the radio network. I'd like to take the last opportunity here to thank our sponsors for this, Aerobotics, Farm Credit of Florida, and Orange RX. Thank you for making this broadcast possible. We appreciate you listening. Signing off, I'm Josh McGill with Southeast Agnet.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.